we're already having our little morning smoothie break. So I checked my bank account this morning and we got our tax refund and I was very excited. I thought, thank God, we're rich. I'm Elmer J. Fudd millionaire. I own a mansion and a yacht. Okay, it wasn't that much. It got me to thinking about the psychology of money, which I find a very interesting topic, and I am admittedly not an expert in it. It's something I like to observe and ponder. Money isn't just money. It's not just something you get paid for doing a job. You go buy what you need. Easy peasy. There's a lot that goes into how we view our money and feel about our money, and how we feel about our money has a huge impact on how we spend our money and save our money, and therefore in our overall lifestyle and existence, and whether we choose to be frugal or not, whether we have to be frugal. It's something to be aware of so that you can avoid some of the pitfalls that will separate you from your money. There's this phenomenon of being payday rich, which you really have to avoid, and it's especially relevant now at tax season when it might be your biggest payday of the year if you're getting a refund. You have your basic payday rich of paydays coming, you've used up your money from the last payday, things are feeling kind of tight. And then you get paid and there's money in your bank account and you're feeling good and you have a big number there all of a sudden and you think, hot damn, I can celebrate, I can live again. I'm gonna go buy a dozen Dunkin' Donuts for everybody in the office. I'm going to the movies, we're going out to dinner, let's get drinks. You can go a little crazy, and that can be a big problem. That can be a huge detriment to the responsible management of your money. You cannot let yourself fall into that trap of being payday rich, because you're really not rich. You just have a little bit more money than you did a few days ago. You don't all of a sudden have money to burn and just throw away on luxuries, because guess what's going to happen 2 weeks later or 4 weeks later when you're approaching the next payday? You are well out of money from the last payday because you lived it up a little too much when you thought you were payday rich. That's why you always need to have a budget, you need to have a plan for your money, and you need to stick to your plan. Only when I'm filming a video does he want to come say hello. Back when I was employed and getting a regular paycheck, I always knew exactly where all of my money was going to go on payday. It was already designated. I already had it written in my check register what money was coming in. I always put a lower amount than what was coming in. So let's say I was going to be paid $1,400, I would write into my check register $1,000, because that gave me automatic savings, an automatic slush fund. And then I would look at that $1,000 and I would already have it scheduled to pay the bills. They would already be set to go. Online bill paying makes it very easy to plan all this stuff ahead. Before that paycheck even hits your bank account, it's already designated where it's going to go, and your bills are paid. Your needs are met. You're not jumping into your wants and your luxuries. You're making sure that your rent's paid and your car payment's paid and your credit card's paid and your electric bill's paid. All those little treats that you're tempted to give into when you're feeling payday rich add up very quickly. And those are what take the money away from you actually being able to pay your real bills. Same goes if you know you're getting a tax refund. You know how much it's going to be. You need to have a plan for it. You cannot go insane when that money hits your bank account. You've got to have a plan for it. If you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. You have to think ahead. You have to have a strategy, especially if you're the kind of person who just, money burns a hole in your pocket. If you have it, you're going to spend it. You got to sit down and decide what is a responsible, grown-up, appropriate use for this money. Am I going to be able to pay off some of my credit card debt? Will I be able to make some extra mortgage payments so I can get my mortgage taken care of sooner? Am I going to use it for my kids' tuition? Do I need car repairs? Maybe you just need to set up your emergency fund. A lot of those grown-up responsible choices aren't really fun. They're not glamorous. They're not exciting. They're not that enjoyable. As much fun as it would be to just buy a whole new wardrobe. I don't know what people do with a large sum of money. It feels a lot better to be able to sleep at night and to have no anxiety about your finances and to feel comfortable. That feels a lot better than the potential fun of just going off on some fabulous spending spree. Another thing about the psychology of money I find really interesting is how we really equate our self-worth with our income. And we equate other people's worth based upon their income. And that's such a mistake. And I think that's such a problem in our culture. And because of that, I think people are very guarded about letting you know how much money they earn. That to them is the most personal of information. People would go on Oprah or any other talk show and share with you the most intimate details of their sex lives. But God forbid they would ever let you know how much money they have, because then you would know what they're worth as a human being. And that's crazy. When I was working, that was never really an issue for me because, one, I was a social worker for the state. And as a state employee, your income is public knowledge. Right? The taxpayers paid my salary. The taxpayers can know what I earn should they want to know. I never really had that issue of thinking my worth as a human being was equal to my salary, because I knew as a state social worker I was being vastly underpaid for the amazing service I was providing the world, and that was okay. I think we frugal people know that our value as human beings is not equivalent to the value of our bank accounts. But I think in our society we need a whole mind shift in a different direction in how we look at ourselves and look at other people. And why shouldn't we equate people's value, their human worth, with their income or bank account? Well, first, because it's simply wrong. And isn't it kind of sick that we're a culture that so reveres wealth that people like the Kardashians are so celebrated? Think about who we're teaching our children to look up to. And on the flip side, well, if you don't have money, you must not be worth very much. You must not deserve money. I guess you're not as good a person. So then what does that tell us? We don't have to help those people because they're not good people and they don't deserve it. Because if they were good people, they'd be rich like the Kardashians. It's a really twisted way of judging other human beings and allowing those who have much to feel okay that most people have so little. There are a lot of good, kind people out there, but it's not a kind culture we live in, is it? One final point about the psychology of money, just something I found interesting. They did a study, and they asked people, if you could save $100 on groceries today, would you drive across town to do it? Instead of going to your local grocery store, would you drive across town to a different grocery store knowing you were going to save $100? And people said, absolutely, of course I would. $100, that would be amazing. And then they asked people, if you're buying a brand new car, would you go to your car dealership right around the corner, or would you go get the same car across town knowing you could save $100 if you drove across town to get that new car? And people said, no, I wouldn't go across town just for $100. Why would I do that? Well, think about it. Why wouldn't you? If you're willing to drive across town to save $100, why wouldn't you be willing to go across town to save $100? And of course it's because the overall expense of the car is so much more that just $100 is a drop in the bucket. It's not worth your effort. But shouldn't it be? I mean, $100 is $100 either way you look at it. All right, frugal friends, thanks for watching. Please try to avoid those pitfalls of feeling like you're all of a sudden fabulously wealthy and you can do all sorts of fun things with your money just because you got paid or got your tax refund. Have a plan, have a strategy. I know you're going to be responsible with it. Yay for us, the responsible frugal people. As always, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.